Hello, everyone. We are back. Thank you for your patience. All right, so Viper, you were gonna go talk to some whales.
Yes.
So what do you do?
Uh, hmm. How do you approach um explaining this to creatures that probably have no idea what the hell you're about to ask them?
How do
Uh,
you explain a jailbreak slash
yeah,
inciting a revolt to toddlers,
exactly.
and then get them to yell it at other toddlers across the playground,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak?
Huh. Um. Okay. Well, I think the main thing I want to impart is that for now they need to stay with the ship because the ship will keep them safe, and they need to keep the ship safe. And if we can get that much accomplished, I will consider it this conversation a victory.
Okay, I forget. Do you have whale song as a language?
Yes.
Okay. Um, yeah, they are more interested in going with you,
Mm-hmm.
wherever that
That's
may be.
not surprising.
Yeah. Um, they communicate. Yeah, they like I said, they don't have words per se. They just have concepts,
Mm-hmm.
and so they communicate to you that the idea of safe is with you,
Mm-hmm.
not with the ship, and that you should stay to keep the ship safe and them safe.
Mm. This is fucking ripping Viper's grandma heart out of her chest.
Oh,
They really don't like. I don't think it because they have lived the life they have. It doesn't really occur to them that they are like multiple tons of muscle that
Right.
can protect anything,
Yeah, that
including
they're like
themselves.
literally the most dangerous thing in the ocean,
Yeah,
pretty much.
if they apply themselves.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, this is going to require, I think, an impress roll.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I still don't have any ranks in that. I keep trying to use it though.
You
So
could
let's see.
also,
Well, I'm doing it. The die passed. 16.
hey, 16. Okay. Um, I think they're nervous about it, but they are
Mhm.
willing to stay. They make you promise that you'll come back.
Oh yeah, definitely. If anything, she over promises.
oh.
I'm gonna come back. There's gonna be two of me.
Yeah, I'll be back before you even know it, knowing it's going to be at least a couple days.
Grandma.
Yeah,
Um.
and I'm going to bring sweets.
Oh.
Okay. So yeah, they'll stay. They will try and protect the ship, and including keeping an eye out for the ship.
Hmm.
So, what are
I'll say if they get scared, they should make noise, and they're friends on the ship.
okay? They. I think you get the idea when you say that they conceive of the ship as a fellow whale who
Right?
is essentially like being emotionally bludgeoned into inanimate into being an
Yeah.
inanimate object.
Right. Okay. Well, that conception can work for now. We'll deal with the concept of
It's Marlowe's fur mother.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um V and Dorothy, are you two doing anything to prepare? before you go ashore in the rowboat?
Yes, I would like to commission some flare guns or flares from Ink before we set out, um, and um, tell Hanar that a particular code of uh, um, white means that we need help. Red means that you should leave. And green means that it's been done.
I recommend that you write this down.
Okay. I'll just put it in my character sheet along with the flirt charges that I got.
Okay, let's see. Ink Steel is a craftsperson. So I am going to pull up her stats. Let's see, she is expertise crafting, crafting basics, and crafting mastery. And crafting 7. Okay. What do those 2 crafting feats do? Let's find out. I'm gonna look that up. This seems like it might be important.
Yeah, it could be. It might be. Yeah, somewhat real.
I think it just gives you additional money bonuses to your rolls or value.
Yes, it increases the money value and the complexity of items you can make by crafting basics, and crafting mastery does that even more. So essentially triple effect because of crafting mastery.
Well, unfortunately, it'd have to be that the flares are already there because it takes a week to make a flare.
Yeah, I'm gonna sort of do this as a retroactive. I'm
Okay.
gonna do 3 rolls, see if she will present. She's gonna present 3 flares, and these rolls will determine. She says they work. These rolls will determine the nature of those flares.
Brilliant.
So you wanted 1 green, 1 red, and 1 white.
Oh, wait a minute. I can just make illusionary color bursts. Dancing lights. Find the flare gun. I have a spell named Flare.
Yeah, I know you do. I was wondering if any of you were going to realize that.
That was the first spell you ever cast in this campaign, too.
Yeah. No, I think the first spell I cast was Dancing Lights because we were doing stage show.
Okay.
Well, yeah, both relevant.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. So Ink turns over 3 flares to you, V.
Mm-hmm.
She says they all work. I want you to write down that you have 1 white and 2 red flares.
Great.
They do indeed all work.
No such thing as it going well. Thank you.
Also,
Seems prophetic almost.
the rules for flares are on page 184 if you want to write down their stats.
Forgot that this game is like this.
Yeah,
Alright.
I was amazed. I stumbled across them when I was looking to see what you could arm your ship with, were you so inclined. But they do 1d12 lethal or fire damage.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's weird that it's lethal or fire. But anyways, also they have good range.
Difference between a direct hit and a near hit.
Yeah, I guess so. Also, they
What
don't
did you
have inaccurate, strangely.
Oh, my gun does, but this doesn't. Alright, fair.
Yeah. Seems very strange to me, but okay.
Why not?
Yeah. All right. So, where do you all want to put ashore? 'Cause currently, you are like not that far away.
What?
That was our the cats being
Okay.
fathers.
Cool.
Feline crimes.
Yep. Currently, you are like 20, like 48 miles away from the community. So it's part of the reason that you can't get like a good read on it, and are just sort of seeing these details. You of course could move closer, but that might make you more visible. Just trying to think of like, how would I even do like a hide check for a fucking galley? I mean, the community is inside of like a marsh forest, so it's not impossible for you to have not been seen. So yes, where do you want to go ashore? Where you are now, or do you want to take the ship somewhere else and then go ashore from a different angle?
I think moving the ship closer would put the freed whales at risk.
Yeah, I think we're good where we are. We'll just go ashore as close in this hex as possible to our goal. So
Yeah, okay. Oh, I guess I can. Where is? Do I have the moose handy? It's fine. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw down Madam V onto the play screen. Theoretically, I'm going to do this. There we go. A little large. All right. So, y'all go ashore. Oh, sorry, Dorothy. We sort of skipped over. Is there any preparation that you want to do before you go ashore?
Yes, I would like to go into Viper's backpack, please.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's it. Okay, you're just sneaking off the ship. That okay. All right. Give me a sneak check.
Okay.
Do you tell Viper?
I critically failed.
Oh my god.
Well,
Rip the bag.
Okay. Yeah, who is it? Who is it? It was Odd before, right? Who saw Dorothy go over the side?
It was Nyx.
Oh, actually, it was Greta and... Was it Greta and Zalv who saw the doll previously in with the animals?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna say it was definitely. I'm pretty sure it was Greta. So I'm gonna say Greta sees you like scamper into Viper's bag shortly before Viper puts it on, and like
Yeah, normal. It's normal.
she is just like, what the what the fuck? Because she didn't roll that well. So I'm gonna say she didn't get like an especially good look at you. She 100% saw you, but she's still like, yeah. And I think she's also, she is explicitly nocturnal and it's daytime. So I think she's probably like super groggy after her night shift. She's like
Sure,
heading to
yeah.
bed.
Yeah, of course.
And y'all are like getting underway.
Yeah.
So she's just like so confused and is convinced that, okay, I'm probably
That's a
just
really big rat.
tired. But I'm adding that to her notes.
Was a really big rat, and also there was like a regular sized rat with it too.
Okay, so there's now saw Dorothy as a doll climb into Viper's backpack.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah, so there might be rumors when y'all get back.
Oh my god, you guys. You're so weird. Just gaslight the crew.
Great.
What's a captain for?
No.
Okay, so
At least it wasn't the one who's actually mechanically listed as the gossip who saw you.
yeah.
We got that going for us.
Yeah. Okay. So the three of you, plus Foxglove, plus Dog, plus Gentleman Moose, in order of ascending size.
Just the moose in the rowboat is not comfortable to me.
He is definitely like laid down in it and is taking up most of the space. Who is rowing?
Can Viper row from Gentleman Moose's back?
Sure.
Like we had to take out the bench so he could lay down.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, do you have water vehicles?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I have water vehicle specialty and a rank in ride.
Perfect. That's all you need.
Hmm.
Just some basic competency.
Okay. So here's the thing.
No.
A rowboat is technically size large.
We went over all of this with the galley to start with too. Also,
Yeah, that's true. So it was. So I'm not gonna like. I'm gonna say that it is very cramped with Gentleman Moose.
oh yeah,
Because like it was built by decency, so the rowboats on it are probably suitable for route walkers.
yeah, it's supposed to carry what, like 4 root walkers, not 2 root walkers, a gigantic moose, a dog, and a doll.
Yeah.
And a rat.
So
And you're right.
so like it's super awkward getting there.
That's what all social events are with me, baby.
But I'm not gonna have you roll to get ashore. But if anything untoward were to happen while you were in this boat with all of you crammed in there, there's
Yeah,
definitely gonna be an increased error range.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will say I do have water vehicles and a relatively high ride. Well, no, 3. That's not right. I have-
You're still correct. Relatively, that's high.
I'll just be there with the drum.
I swear I
very
saw the
useful.
doll playing a drum on the rowboat. Okay.
You should be so lucky.
So the three of you get ashore. And Viper, what's this west end of the island like? That it's outside of the forest and the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Or rather, what was it like, 9 years ago?
I think it was probably like a flattish wetland, like not fully a marsh, but mostly covered in tall grasses and scrub brushes and stuff, and not like full-size trees. And the ground is soft, but it's not like sink up to your knees soft.
The kind of place that as soon as it rains, it's just like the thickest, grippiest
yeah.
mud.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it has not rained recently, so it's just a lot of very damp soil.
Hmm.
Um, was there any sort of habitation in this region previously, other than, of course, like wildlife?
I don't think there were any like large towns or cities or anything. This end of the island was more like small fishing communities of like usually just a few families in small areas, more or less along the beaches that were, connected by
Mm-hmm.
footpaths rather than roads. But
Okay. So I'll say that you come ashore, and or as you're rowing towards shore, you can see that there are like four small houses on stilts, really little more than huts, and there's a dock of wooden planks going a little ways out into the water. There is I don't think that there are any boats nearby. uh, Not on the beach, not on the tied to the dock. You can see that there is the like racks and materials and supplies needed for a small fishing community that's like half buried in the mud and is on the wooden planks that connect each of these houses. There's essentially like a bunch of planks that have been laid down to form a makeshift sidewalk to
mhm.
assist with the mud. But the buildings are clearly abandoned. They obviously weren't especially well made, even back when they were uh, maintained. And now there's obvious holes in them, undoubtedly from the elements. Um, Everyone give me a notice check, please.
How about a natural one? It's still an 11.
17.
I got the opposite of what you got, but also I got the same, which is very good.
Yeah, V also rolled an 11. um, okay. So that's what I just described is everything that Viper and V notice. Dorothy, you can tell that one of the huts has lost its roof, not from age, but it caught fire at some point. And as you look around, you can see evidence that at some point Sparked came here.
Mm.
Um, yeah, that's all you get with a 17.
Okay.
All right, let's proceed as planned and try to get this moose out of this boat.
We may want to keep our eyes open for any sparked. I think that they've been through here, but I'm not sure how recently.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, where do you bring the rowboat? Do you bring it to the dock, or do you just beach it, or something else?
Probably beach it. That dock probably wouldn't hold me, much less moose.
Fair.
Wise.
Okay.
It's probably way easier to get him out of a boat that's beached also.
True.
Seems like less potential for disaster.
then Austin, the cruelest GM, kills Gentleman Moose as he gets out of a boat because he slips.
Look, I'm not worried about the moose. He's proven he's a good swimmer. I'm worried about losing the boat.
That's a good point. Viper.
We show back up to the quadlibet, just all on the back of the moose,
Yeah.
paddling through the ocean.
Viper, have you ever spoken to the whales underwater, or do you converse with them above ground or water?
Well, it really only works if I'm in the water too. You don't really. Well, at least mostly.
How long is your range to speak to these animals?
Pretty far. You can holler a lot farther through water than you can through air. That's for sure.
I'm just
As
wondering.
for exact distances, I don't really know. Quite a ways.
Out of character, Fantasycraft has explicit rules for how far creatures can hear.
Of course.
Also, smell.
They got
It has
whale?
explicit rules for how far creatures can smell, too.
Great.
Yeah, Foxglove has inferior vision, but superior smell. So I'm just wondering how close that we have to get to the village, or also, if these fish demon things, if they also speak whale.
I can't say for sure, but I'm almost 100% positive that they don't.
That's not how probability works. If you are 100% positive that they don't, then you are pretty fucking sure.
I didn't come here to do math.
I come here to punch. Also, I'm wondering if they hear whale song, if they're going to investigate in hopes of capturing a whale.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I guess so. I can also, up to 250 feet, I can set up a whisper network.
That's always useful.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm not exactly sure what the situation's going to be until we get closer. But I definitely do need to be in the water.
Okay.
All right. Viper and V are on the back of Gentleman Moose. Dorothy and Foxglove are on the back of Dog. And
Surprised no one's named him yet.
I don't think anyone would dare take that away from you, Christine.
I know, but Dorothy wouldn't name it. This poor thing.
Dog's a fine name. Dog's a descriptive and practical name.
Says the person who named their moose Gentleman Moose.
Well, it's also descriptive. He's a moose. Also, he's a gentleman.
Yes.
That's the name.
What personality characteristics has the dog displayed? We'll give him some screen time and he can see what kind of dog he is, and then...
Yeah, he can tell us his name.
Good Dog.
Good dog.
That'd be a bad name to name a dog. Anyways. The three of you travel overland. Is anyone taking the metaphorical lead in this, playing guide? Because I'm wondering if any of y'all have survival.
Foxglove has survival.
Oh, that's good.
Technically, yes.
What does
Technically, absolutely not. Viper doesn't know how to survive.
It means I have 2 ranks in survival. I suspect Foxglove's going to be much better at it than I am.
I don't know about no, I don't know about that because she has signature skill 1. So her survival is 3 as well.
Yeah, you got me beat. Absolutely.
Okay.
You don't have
We're
any
following.
you don't have any wisdom modifiers to that V?
My wisdom is -1. So, no. I mean, yes, I do, but it's not in the direction that anyone would hope.
There.
Okay, look, we're following Foxglove, okay?
All right. So what does this look like, Christine? As Foxglove guides you all.
Dorothy speaks rat, so I figure it's just like sort of a Ratatouille situation. Foxglove is just gonna like pull on the hair in the direction that they need to be going.
Oh, it's a mech game now.
Thank you for saying it, Sasha.
We did it. We got there.
I mean, what is a Lancer but a mech pilot?
There's a lot of difference.
I know. You gotta crawl inside Gentleman Moose for it to be a mech.
Okay, we're going. So Foxglove is Ratatouille and that shit. Let's go on and not think about that. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So you want
Austin, I am tired of your vor fetish getting into everything.
I was thinking of something a little more body horror-ish, considering that it's Sasha's character.
Unbirthing?
And I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Yeah.
Foxglove opened Dorothy's access hatch on her back and just crawls.
I mean, of all the characters,
Of all the people.
Pulling levers.
Dorothy could have an access hatch, actually. Maybe then she wouldn't be so sexually frustrated. Anyway, let's keep going.
Bazinga.
So give me that survival roll from Foxglove.
Alright. Actually, I have the same survival, so I'll just... 17.
17.
Nice.
Okay.
I appreciate that mages don't have survival, because they're pretty useless nerds, except for what they do really well.
5. Okay.
I'm excited for, I think it's next level, I have a spell that lets me like completely rearrange terrain, so I can like make crops grow or flatten the terrain for settlement. I thought it'd be good for this kind of game.
Good.
Okay. So,
Damn.
as
Damn.
the 3 of you are traveling through first this open marshy ground.
I would like to cast Pass Without Trace, which means track checks made to locate one character per casting level automatically fail.
All right. Roll to cast it.
I do not need to.
Ah, it's that. I see. Well
I'm
then,
too powerful.
well then, roll for taint.
I need to. Will save.
You're at 3 now?
No. Now I'm at 2. I lose a taint per scene.
Ah, I see.
Okay.
One scene has expired since then.
With that 8, aren't you back up to 3?
No, I'm at 2 now.
Because you were at 3 from your
Yeah, we're 3 for the
disguise.
for the disguise, and then the next scene was us getting ready to leave the ship.
Okay. All right. So you're at 2.
And then us on the rowboat was a scene. And
No, that was not a scene. That was not a scene.
All right, so I'm
I
guessing.
will reasonably game the system.
I'm guessing you're going to cast this on Gentleman Moose and Dog since the rest of you are on their backs.
hmm
Okay.
I also just use it for myself,
Okay.
just because.
Just in case.
Just because I don't want people. I just don't want people looking at me.
All right.
Go away.
Foxglove points out to you, Dorothy, as you're going along, that there are signs that Sparked are in the area.
Ooh.
You can find the odd, like, branch that is burned. You can find the odd bit of mud that has been essentially kilned with, like, footsteps embedded in it,
Mhm.
just from their passage.
For clarity's sake, could you just refer to it as fried? Because burn can mean a bunch of different things, but if it's like clearly an electrical burn,
Okay. Um, Also, to be clear, these footsteps that you find, there's a couple different varieties. There's like you find one track that is either human or elf or Kadum or Saurian. It's hard to tell because they were wearing shoes.
oh, I was gonna say, don't Kato have like little kitty cat paws? Do they have beans?
They do.
Yay!
But I would think that they're probably also like often wear sandals or
Because people want to touch those beans.
yes. And
So there are possible medium-sized folk.
yes, there is also animal tracks as well. Um, I don't think that Foxglove rolled high enough to tell you what type of animals they are. But you can see that there are indeed sparked animals in the area as well. Considering the fact that the footprints are still baked on top of the mud, it probably has been at least like these are fresh enough that it hasn't rained in the area yet. But it's hard to tell how long ago that might have been, since obviously you don't live here.
Yeah. Viper, how often does it rain this time of year?
It's spring, as a reminder.
That seems like something I should roll for. Because,
Knowledge roll?
yeah.
Okay, what skill do you? Wait, I forget. Is knowledge is a skill, right? And then you get a bonus for having a study. So what's? I mean, survival is the obvious one, but if you have an argument for another,
I don't really think there is an argument for another one for this particular situation. And Viper never paid much attention to the weather.
Just always in the water. So
Yeah, rolled a 10. If it was anything less than a full strength hurricane, she generally not concerned about it.
okay, I think you're probably like rains more than the summer, less than the autumn, which is when those hurricanes come through.
Yeah. Could have been a day, could have been a week, could have been a month.
I would
Probably
say,
not a month.
Yeah, I would say you probably know it's like at the outside, like 2 weeks is probably the longest it's been. Shortest it's been has like a day.
Didn't rain on us yesterday. That's all I can say for sure.
okay. We did go through a storm cloud. It's just oh no, there was the God storm yesterday.
Off in the distance.
Yeah. Okay. keep your eyes peeled. They don't seem smart enough to ambush us, so
Yeah, hopefully that's true.
Okay.
I wonder, in the service of chaos and mayhem, which generally accompany jailbreaking several whales out of captivity, I
Hmm.
wonder if it would be worthwhile if we happen to come across them to drive them towards the settlement.
so we be using ourselves as bait?
More or less, yeah. As a distraction to the whales breaking out.
And it's
Uh,
probably a good way to get some sea devils to leave.
well, remember that while myself and the two of you can't get sparked, our mounts and our friend here can, and also that the sparks add to their numbers. So we may, by directing the sparked into the village, we may end up with a whole village of sparked uh, after us.
That is
Could happen in very short order, also.
a good point.
True. Well, we'll
I will
share.
say, I'll say this: let's not do it on purpose.
Now, are you winking? It's hard to see from down here.
No wink. No wink.
A wink. Okay.
If it happens, it happens.
Are y'all going to take any precautions in regard to the sparked before, as you continue on your travels towards the Sea Devil community?
Are there precautions to be taken?
I guess I'll have my shield on my arm. Yes.
I'm gonna hide behind Foxglove and her incredibly well insulated armor.
Just this massive, ripped to shreds Rootwalker elf crouching behind a rat. This will protect me for sure.
Yes.
I'm
It
imagining,
can't.
I'm imagining Viper holding up Foxglove in one hand, like Van Helsing brandishing a cross at Dracula.
I was gonna say wielding Foxglove like a particularly bitey buckler.
I equip the rat.
Hmm.
Well, that actually reminds me of a time when I was playing this and I equipped an elf, but that's a story for another time.
We need to get Foxglove a lot more vitality points.
All right. So, let's see. You're traveling at 5 miles an hour. It's 48 miles there. You get through this first area deeper inland, and you can see the forest is beginning. The grass turns into bushes, turns into trees. The ground first gets drier, and then as you get deeper into the forest, it starts getting soggy, and next thing you realize, what's dog's gender? Up to his chest.
Dorothy doesn't care.
Dog is up to his chest in water. And is just sort of like half slogging, half doggy paddling through it. Gentleman Moose, of course, is walking, but you can tell that the mud below the water is really gripping to his hooves. And he's, I don't think he's even knee deep in the water yet. Probably like ankle deep. He big.
You big.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's still probably like a couple feet.
Mm-hmm. Let's get another survival check from our rat guide. Now that you can't see the shore really anymore, or in fact that the line between shore and land has been blurred, and the sun is concealed by the canopy of the trees.
22.
If anything, more at home.
How long does Pass Without Trace last?
1 hour per
Caster level?
caster level. I'm caster level 4.
Okay. All right. So, those rolls I'm making have been regarding any potential encounters you might have. But you don't. There's no sign of anything. You don't see any sign of the spark as you wade through the brackish water of this swamp. It, of course, is now a mix of seawater and fresh water at this time. Not that I suspect any of you are tasting it. What else might you notice? Foxglove points out something to you, Dorothy, which is that there is evidence of that the Sea Devils have been here. Not symbols of like expansion into this area. More like they've done some scouting into this part of the forest. You see marks which none of you speak the same language as the Sea Devils, so you can't tell, like, I mean, it's also technically not a language, right? It's like seeing the radiation symbol, and it doesn't help regardless of what language you know if you've never seen the symbol before.
So it says this place is not a place of honor, is what you're saying.
I'm saying you have no clue what these symbols mean. But it could very well mean that.
Well, what is the symbol? Because sometimes certain symbols are like drawings and can communicate meaning in themselves.
Yeah, Austin, design some right now.
Look, graphic design is not their passion. Who wants to give me an investigate roll to try and interpret what these mean?
Oh, I'll do that. That's a 15 total. My skill doesn't apply because I'm not actually talking to anyone. So
I'm going to help.
Okay, so you'll get that +1 from Dorothy. Also, so human nature only applies to investigate when you're canvassing?
I think so. Let me double check.
Most of those abilities apply just to those skills in their entirety. But
Okay, yeah, no. It's the flavor text is framed that way, but the mechanical text is not.
okay,
No.
so it just applies to investigate in general.
Yeah.
All right. So as you examine these markings, you can tell that there is a change between them as you go deeper into the swamp. And you make the connection that They are in reference to the salt levels of the water. And they indicate that the salt level is increasing as you go deeper. And I think that you're able to conclude that a symbol you saw earlier, indicated that that was the limit of safety, in a sense. Something further out from where you are now, where the water was less salty, was the limit of safety. But it's nothing really any clearer than that. Any questions?
They're salty sea devils. See,
I'm wondering if this has to do with the conductivity of salt water.
Sorry about that.
Our upstairs neighbors are not very considerate people.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm really happy somebody brought up the conductivity of salt water in this campaign.
Thank God.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
You go deeper into the swamp, deeper into the saltier water. And
Brackish.
yes. And you
I
can,
just like that word.
there's only very specific circumstances you get to break it out.
Exactly. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
You do it when you're trudging through a saltwater marsh, or when you're talking about early 2000s thrash metal Canadian girl band Kitty and their #1 chart-topping hit, Brackish.
Which I do often.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hadrian here with the deep cuts. Okay. So, you can see through the trees start to taper off as you hit the open water, so to speak, as the true lagoon begins and there is space cleared. You can see much closer up those structures poking out of the water. But I think that we should take our mid-session break, our planned mid-session break, and we will be back in about 5 minutes. See y'all then.